Next up for a speaker introduction is Matt from Be More Colorful.
All right, thanks, Emma. So my name is Matt Shosey with Be More Colorful. We are an immersive media virtual reality production studio that focuses on workforce development experiences, creating community tours and interactive career experiences. You'll be hearing a little bit more from me later, but I'm up here to introduce Tom Kading. Tom is the founder of Fargo Patent Business Law, a company that assists innovative clients in transforming great ideas into protected assets. His extensive experience across various industries, from IP and business law to real estate to construction to engineering, has taught him that failure is better than not trying, and that the importance of setting a vision and sticking to it with a laser focus and prioritizing his time. In addition to his professional achievements, he actively engages with the local community, serving on the NDSU Research and Technology Park Board, as well as the Be More Colorful Advisory Board. Tom Kading.
So I've got some notes here, so I'll hang out over here. But one of the key philosophies I have had as a business owner and entrepreneur is that it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. So over the years, I've ended up trying a lot of different things, and some have worked great, and some have not worked so great, and I've made some good decisions, and I've made some poor decisions, but keep plugging along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a brief overview of some of the ventures I've been involved with, and then I'm going to talk about a little bit about, I've done these things good and, some lessons I've learned, and I'm going to give 8 key takeaways that I've kind of picked up over the years. So my experience is starting a business, operating a business, it can be stressful, it can be confusing, and it can be difficult. And one of the things that's true is decisions are not always straightforward, and they're not always black and white. So sometimes over the course of my career, I found that I don't really know where I'm going, and I'm figuring out some things on the fly. So one of the quotes I've grown to appreciate is by a woman named Corrie ten Boom, and she was a Holocaust survivor, and she's written a couple books. It's a faith-based quote, but I really like kind of, the nature of it. And the quote is, "I know that the experiences of our lives, when we let God use them, become the mysterious and perfect preparation for the work He will give us to do." So what I do today is I run a law firm. And I feel the experiences over my entrepreneurial career has really laid the foundation and given me, a background to be perfect for running this law firm. When I went to engineering school, I didn't plan on starting a law firm. When I went to law school, I didn't plan on starting a law firm. But at Fargo Patent Business Law today, we work with innovators to really lay that strong legal foundation to scale and grow. So looking back, how did I get where I am today? And I'll go back to NDSU. At NDSU, at some point there, I said, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to run a business. I want to start a business. So I went to the library and I checked out some books and I started reading about companies and LLCs and corporations and, business planning. How do you do it? And I learned a fair amount, and I decided, well, I want to get into real estate because, real estate's a good foot in the door to, start the entrepreneurial journey. So I went back and I got some more books and read about real estate and started doing pro formas and, looking at the plans and writing Excel spreadsheets, and I put that together. About that time, I went to law school, went up to Grand Forks, started law school, and, the housing bubble had just popped. The real estate was down a little bit. I was starting law school, I only could do something part-time. So I looked around, tried to get a real estate job. How do I get involved? How do I start to learn this stuff? And, I found that, hey, people really aren't interested in, part-time unexperienced people in the real estate industry. I didn't come from a family with real estate or anything like that. So I didn't get a job in real estate, so I said, well, I'm gonna start my own. So I started a property management company, Precision Property, and that ultimately went, pretty well. It could have went a lot better. It did okay, I guess. Some of the mistakes I made when I did this real estate this was my first company. I remember going to the post office box and dropping in my LLC papers and thinking, well, where is this gonna go? But so I jumped in, I started picking up clients, but one thing I didn't do that I should have done is I should have been out there networking, I should have been out there selling, because selling is absolutely essential. If you're starting a business, you have to sell your service or your product, and I could have done better there. The other thing I didn't do is I didn't focus, and I think that's kind of a theme over the course of my entrepreneurial journey, but I didn't focus on making the property management company the best it can be. And what I did is I got distracted, and my first investor said, the housing market just fell apart. There's some opportunities out there. And so I put together this Precision Venture. And Precision Venture was a real estate investment company. Just luck of the draw, I happened to meet the right people, and people started pouring money in, and I picked up a bunch of investors, and we started buying houses in Arizona, about a couple hundred houses. And, Precision Venture, that was probably one of my best ventures to date. It went really well. We bought a lot of houses at the bottom and rolled that market up. But I learned about investors, learned about investor relations, about communication. I learned about securities. I had a top-notch partner, and I just learned a lot. One thing I would have done different in that venture, though, is I would have planned my exit. So going into it, I really didn't know about exits, didn't really know about anything, and we just did it. And looking back, if I would have done some planning as to how I'm going to exit in the future, I think I could have exited in a much, much better way. So then, and of course, the other thing I didn't do was focus. And, Precision Group came along. That was kind of the next piece. It was complementary to Precision Venture. And, Precision Group went really well as well. We bought a couple hundred homes again, but we got into all sorts of different things, and that was problematic. We didn't have a clear focus. So Precision Venture, very clear focus. We did our thing. Precision Group, we got into everything. We got into buy and holds, we flipped houses, got into Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, we got into oil and gas projects, and all sorts of different things. And what we didn't have was a clear, actionable plan. We had a big vision. We chased a lot of good opportunities, and most of them worked out okay. And for the most part, I did pretty good, but because I didn't do those things, Precision Group could have been so much more. But you live and learn. A couple other things I got involved with that, looking back, I should have probably not gotten involved with was, hemp agriculture. I got into more Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, some device automation, and, I broke even on most of those. Bitcoin did have a huge pop in the market, and that turned out pretty good, just unexpectedly. But I learned a lot about partners, learned a lot about strategies, learned how do you get things done. And I hired some attorneys over the years, kind of got that experience, and I came out of it, and ultimately I started Fargo Patent Business Law and got into that. But looking back, 8 key takeaways that I really look back and say, this is what I would have done. In the first few, go to partners. First one, partners. So date before you get married. And what I mean there is know who you're going to get into business with. And you want to understand who are your business partners. And this can apply for employees and other people too, but know who you're going to do business with. Second one, partner with only the best. And kind of what I mean by that is I want to partner with people who are better than me, who know things better than me, who have better skills than me. I don't want to, be dragging people along with me. Third thing, invest only if you're all in. And what I found is starting a business part-time doesn't work. And if you're gonna start a business, you gotta go for it, and you gotta make it happen. And that's the same thing, you know, if I invest in a business, I only want to invest in a business where that partner is all in and not distracted. Fourth thing, to me, and this is my opinion, character is more important than skills. And, you know, you might be the best of the best at what you do, but if you're not honest and you don't have character, I really probably don't want to be a business partner with you. And the next one, number 5, it's a saying out there, and I'll explain it, but if you need something done, give it to someone who is busy. And that's a double-edged sword. Maybe busy people can't get things done. But what I kind of look to that quote to demonstrate is, you know, there are doers and there are talkers. And there's a lot of talkers. I want to work with doers because doers get things done, and you need to do that in business. So number 6 really isn't about partners, but the takeaway is, you know, you can dream all you want, but start with an actionable plan that you can actually execute. And I learned that with oil and gas, learned that with Bitcoin. You know, we were dead on in terms of our strategy, but I didn't necessarily have the resources to execute on the plans. And I should have just started where I could instead of shooting for the moon. One point to that one, clarity is key. You have to have a clear plan. You have to clearly know where you're going. Number 7, sales is a must. If you're starting a business, you have to go out and sell. And it's so easy to say, hey, I don't want to pick up the phone. I don't want to call anyone. I'm scared to call. It's awkward, whatever. But if you run your business, you're all in, you got to pick up that phone and you got to get out there and sell. And it's easy to think, hey, I've got a product, it's going to sell itself. No, it won't. You got to go sell it. Number 8 is pretty simple. Plan your exit. Hindsight's 20/20. You know, looking back at some of my ventures, I can very easily see that I should have just easily done this, and my exit would have been so much better. So I'll just quick summarize the 8 points, and that'll wrap it up. So the 8 things: date before you get married, know your partners. Partner with the best, invest only if you're all in. Character is more important than skills. Partner with doers, not talkers. Have a clear plan that is actually actionable. Sales is a must, so call now. And plan your exit. And I want to thank Kurt. Great job putting this together, and thank you very much.